In your neediness, you repel. In your completeness, you attract. And we're going to look at why wanting something is a state of lack and how it's blocking you from actually creating and manifesting the experiences, the things, the people that you want in your life. So let's go. This is a great paradox. A paradox that's a little bit confusing at first because the mind loves the idea that if I want something, if I obsess about it, if I just go with it, then that's my best chance of getting it. But what we don't realize is that this is often very much not the case and very much creating the opposite of what we want. Meaning it's creating more wanting, more lack of that thing or that person or that quality or that thing that you're trying to create in your life. But how can that be? Because we get afraid very fast that if I drop the wanting, the desire, or my obsession, or my goal, then there's nothing going to be pushing me or motivating me to get it, or to create it, or to work for it. But this is the thing where we have to really expand our mind and think greater, because yes, the wanting, the desire of wanting something is the first step towards creating it. But when we start to make it very important, when we start to identify with the state of I don't have it, I want it, it becomes very important. We start to project qualities, we start to project the emotional needs that we're gonna get once we get it onto that thing that we're trying to create. And because of that projection, it becomes very, very important to us. It becomes almost like an obsession, a strong desire. And we are actually emitting, as creating a state of neediness, a state in which we are saying, I don't have it. And I wanna really drive this point because life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you are. You attract what you are. And when you are in that state of I don't have it, I want it but I don't have it, you're actually creating more. I don't have it, I want it. So you're creating experiences, challenges, thoughts, and things that are a match to this state. And this is why it's a paradox, because on one level you think conceptually, okay, if I want it and if I really focus on it and I really put my energy and all of this and I obsess over it, then it will greatly help me to get it. But it's often the case it's not. And I want to give you an example in which this is so relatable, because think about something like this, dating. We've all been in a situation where, let's say, you want someone in your life, a special person, maybe even a specific person. Yeah? And your mind starts to fantasize about that person. Your mind starts to project qualities, and that once I get that person, everything's going to be so wonderful, right? And then you meet a person and you become needy and you try to please them and you try to do all those things, and then boom, they run away. And maybe you've been in the opposite scenario, whereas you start dating someone, it's going well, and all of a sudden they become needy and they become too overly attached and they become too much, and you just feel like repelled and you just feel like I cannot run away enough from that person. And then maybe you get into a relationship and it's going very well, right? And then you start to notice that other men and women now start to be attracted to you for some whatever reason. When you're not available, it seems like you're more attractive than before. And this is this paradox at play, because now that you're in a relationship, you are becoming more attractive because you're not even wanting a partner, you have a partner. And so you are creating a state of attractiveness to those men and women around. Of course, that doesn't mean that you do anything about it, but it's understanding the paradox in a very simple, relatable example. So here's the thing. The act of wanting something is actually projecting the I don't have it. And so whatever you're creating in that life, in that moment, with that energy, is more experiences that are reflecting the I want it, I don't have it. And so therefore the solution that we have to create in our mind in order to create and attract the things that we want is a state of completeness. And how do we create a state of completeness? That's by actually embodying that quality, that thing, or that end result already now, associating with that now. Like, how would I feel if I already have that thing? lovingly embrace in your imagination that you already have that thing. And then surrender the desire. I want to share a story of a woman I met a couple of years ago because she was such a wonderful woman. And she was telling me, it's an incredible energy, so many stories of how she's always so lucky. Right? She's always so lucky. And she was telling me how I always, manifest those little things. I even won a big trip once, and it just keeps on happening. It's crazy. I'm so lucky. And the reason why I share this story is because it's so wonderful to observe that her identity was so rooted in that I'm the lucky person who good things are always happening. And you see, those experiences that were happening to her were not something she was actively wanting, but the experiences were seeking her because of who she was. And then if we look at people, for example, who struggle financially, which is also something pretty big, you often hear that I'm always struggling with money, I'm just trying to get by, I'm trying to make my end meet, I'm just surviving in here. That's the kind of language they want. And those people want money. Of course they want money. And they want more of it, and they associate that having all the money will solve all their problems. But what they do is they're projecting the I don't have it. They keep on identifying with I'm struggling, I'm getting by, I'm surviving. And so there's a conflicting paradox here between who they are and what they want. And life doesn't give you what you want, life gives you who you are. So if you can start to feel abundant now, you are now starting to create a new identity, you're now starting to expand your state of consciousness, and you're now starting to emit a new vibration out into the universe, and life will start to realign itself to give you more of those opportunity, ideas, or whatever is needed for you to start manifesting those experiences that are matched to your new identity. And that's why it says in the Bible, the very famous and often misunderstood quote that says, "For those who have, more will be given to them, and they will have abundance. And for those who have not, even what they have will be taken away from them." In other words, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And it seems unfair, but life is not fair. Life gives you exactly, and well, we could say that life is fair because life gives you exactly what you are. But it's our own responsibility to elevate our state of consciousness, to educate ourselves, to expand. Because life gives us to all the equivalent of what we hold in our mind most of the time. And so therefore we could really say that actually life is very fair, even if it seems unfair to the uneducated and when we are not aware of this paradigm or this information. So the solution is again to really go to the end result and become that person, having that thing now, feeling the emotions and vibrating, emitting, becoming that person who already have that thing. How would you feel if you already had it? That's a simple question, and when you embrace the feeling, you're planting seed in your subconscious mind. And when you release the warning and you just focus on the feeling, amazing things starts to happen in your life. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in a comment. I will see you next time. Be well.